I want to introduce myself and my purpose. I kind of think that the world is a mess right now. I think we're looking at some hard times coming up, not only in the United States, they're already happening all over the world. And by way of food shortages and stuff, I will say right up front that I wholly ascribed to the theory of peak oil. I believe we're there. We've passed global peak, and that we're looking at the results of it right now. We're feeling the pinch of it. That coupled with the things that have been done politically and economically to try and keep the economy going with quantitative easing and so forth, I think that we're looking at the perfect storm. And we're getting a preview right now of what's going to be happening in the United States by looking at what's going on overseas. But before I get into any of that, I would like to say that I have been studying these changes for about the last 5 years. And about the last year and a half, I've been watching YouTube channels, which I'm going to plug here because they've been invaluable to me as far as helping me wake up and see what's going on. But at the same time, I think it's time that we stop talking about blame, and we stop pointing fingers at whose fault it is, and it's everybody's fault. It's a mess that everybody's living in. We are not in this alone. We are in this together 100%, and it's time that we start realizing that. We got 44 million people on food stamps in this country right now. That's electronic money that doesn't exist. The thing that's so frightening to me about all this is that when that electronic money stops, what happens to the 44 million? What happens to them? Instead of giving them electronic money, we should have been giving them heirloom seeds. We're all heading in that direction. We're all heading that direction. If you don't have a garden, you better get a garden. If you live in an apartment building, all you have is a fireplace, then you better get yourself a couple of containers and start planting some beans. These are the harsh realities of what we're looking at. It's just delayed reaction here. It's just a delay here. I am not a truther as far as that goes, and I'm not a prepper either as far as that goes. But I do believe in understanding the circumstances that we are living in this world and acting proactively to those things that are happening. I don't really care, to be perfectly honest. I don't really care if Ben Bernanke and his quantitative easing has caused this global meltdown of economies and this global inflation making it possible for people to be able to afford food, or if he's got any play at all in the global lack of food, the food shortage. I don't care. It doesn't make a difference. There's nothing that I can do to mitigate that situation. But I can do this. I can know what's coming. I can see what's coming, and I can act on that. And what is coming is food shortage. Now I've got like some headlines that I would like to just kind of read off to you guys that have just been happening, just have popped up over the last couple of days. No, these are legitimate news agencies, which most people want to discredit. But let me just read some of these for you right now. North Korea hit by foot and mouth amid food shortages. That's the San Francisco Chronicle. When China goes hungry, the world shakes. Sydney Morning Herald. Bolivian President Evo Morales flees food price protests. That's the BBC. Sri Lanka expecting severe food shortages. That's the Albuquerque Express. Food prices lead inflation around the globe. Highlands Ranch Herald. North Korea turns to dialogue under acute food shortage. Korea Times. Lee proposes food crisis task force in Korea. Wall Street Journal. Corn futures skyrocket as supplies dwindles in the U.S. and the U.S. reports shortages. That's the Examiner. 2011 may see higher food prices due to corn surplus shortage. Now that makes no sense to me. Corn surplus shortage. Why don't they just say it ain't there? Brace for higher food inflation, Jamaica gleaner. Looming food crisis threatens Tanzania's self-sufficiency goals, the Citizen Daily. UK reports warns of global food shortages, price increase, that's Bloomberg. Genetically modified crops are the key to human survival, says UK's chief scientist, The Guardian. Britons must swallow fear of GM crops to feed the world's Telegraph. Food shortages demand a global response, The National. Extreme weather events spark fear of global food crisis. That's AccuWeather. UN extends emergency aid to drought-hit Syria. The National. Lab-grown meat is here. Demand not so much. PC World. Failure to act on crop shortages fueling political instability, reports experts warn, and that's The Guardian. You know, you look it up. There are thousands. Not 1, 2, 10, 20, there are thousands of articles from reputable sources talking about food shortages across the world. Global. This is global. Globally. And it's at the point for us in the United States that we still have time this season, this spring, right now, we still have time to try and mitigate this shortage. We still have time to try to put some of this hardship off, to put off what's happening in Egypt, to put off what's happening in Tunisia and what they put off in Jordan by promising everybody a year's worth of food and giving them $3,000 blah 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 how many dollars.